guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. You know, there's something that's been on my mind and I really have to talk about it because I think I've found the two single people who have truly changed the game in mental health. Now, personally, my mental health, like my depression is cured, so is my anxiety, panic disorder, we don't know her. Everything has just changed. And I really want to thank these two individuals because it is thanks to them that nobody has mental health problems at all whatsoever. Of course, I'm kidding because my mental health has taken a massive nosedive. So who am I referring to? Well, you might recall if you were following me at the time or if you came across the video, about a year ago, I made a video about these two quote-unquote influencers. At the time, they had around 20,000 followers on Instagram. Now they have around 50,000. I don't know what to you qualifies as an influencer. To me, you're an influencer if that pays all of your bills. I don't think we can really call them that, and we'll get into why. But anyway, these two influencers, the basic rundown is that because they're qualified for few trades according to themselves, the mother of one of the two, can't remember, works two jobs to pay their bills. These are two grown adults who said that working doesn't really fit their lifestyle and would be detrimental, whereas good old mom, she can go to two jobs. So immediately you can tell what kind of feeling I have towards these people. To me, saying that they can't have a job is ridiculous. It's more out of laziness than anything else, because that's literally the only reason they listed, is that they just don't feel like they're qualified. To get qualified, you need to train at a job or go to an entry-level job. Look, I could go off. Anyway, they came under fire because they had a GoFundMe where they wanted people to donate money so they could bike to Africa and through Africa to raise awareness on mental health. I still have like somewhat of a stroke when I say that, because you can raise awareness of mental health from the bathroom for all I care. Like, you can just post on Instagram from the bathroom talking about mental health, and that's still raising awareness. I don't know why you'd have to travel and have people pay the bill for you to travel to talk about mental health. So really, I think this was their way to get a vacation. Anyway, now that you know the backstory, I was like, I wonder what they're up to. Like, I wonder what my two favorite mental health curing influencers are up to. Did they end up going on the trip? Is poor old mom still working two jobs? These are all questions I needed answers to, because I mean, I owe them that after all. I owe checking up on them after they made my depression go away, because they raised awareness about mental health. Today's video is sponsored by Raycon. Raycon is a company co-founded by Ray J that offers wireless earbuds in a wide range of colors and patterns, along with fit options so they're as comfortable as possible. Not only is the sound quality fantastic, but the earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market. Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are the best ones yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit. I also personally appreciate the fact that the compact carrying case can charge the earbuds 4 times on a single charge. The bottom line is that Raycon earbuds sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know. Go to buyraycon.com/glare for 15% off your order. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. So what I did is that I decided to go through their Instagram and just see, you know, what the tea was. Did they leave? Were they on their way to make changes in everyone's life? And most of all, how in the fuck are they raising awareness about mental health by biking around and essentially mooching off more people? Oh, also, I need to underline the fact that this biking trip, they didn't plan any hotels where they'd stop at or campsites, or, you know, like, they didn't book any accommodation. They asked for people to volunteer their houses to them. The mooching is strong here, okay? This was the first post I saw where they were no longer at their base. This one is in Mallorca. Opportunity! For 1 or 2 people this winter, January, February, and March to volunteer, or maybe throughout the season, March to November. This is the beautiful retreat center located in the north of Mallorca with amazing views of the mountains. It has been our home for the past 3.5 months. Now that we are leaving and finally crossing into Africa, there is an opening for 1 or 2 volunteers. The place is very quiet and the people are really nice. It is almost time to prune the trees here, so work will involve making fires and throwing wood down the hill and other gardening. You will be working alongside the gardener most of the time. He's a wonderful man. Later on in the year, during season, they will also be looking for volunteers to work in the kitchen as helping hands to prepare/serve the tables. Food and accommodation in exchange for 24 to 30 hours per week, depending on time of year. During the season, meals are cooked for you by the chef. Off season, you must prepare your own food. You're working for food and board, but during off season, you're just working for board. So I don't know where you'd get money for the food unless they give you the food but don't prepare it for you. I just kind of had to laugh at the fact that they're presenting this opportunity for other people to volunteer, which is volunteer to work, but they're not working. So I kind of had to laugh at that because I'm like, really? Maybe you should volunteer, but for pay, so you can pay back your mom, you know, the thing we call work. I don't know if you've heard of it. I'm skipping a few posts here because they have quite a few posts and a lot of them are in the same place, and I kind of wanted to show their trajectory rather than the ramblings they have in the same exact place. We really enjoy Italy. The language is melodic, the food is great, the architecture and nature are stunning. Here we were on Giuseppe's roof, an old home away from the city, overlooking the mountains. He showed us the grapevines, avocado, and olive trees he takes care of, not far from his home. We wanted to stay longer to help out and learn more, but we were a couple of months early for the harvest, so we ate as many figs as we could instead and carried on cycling. I thought this was funny because someone in the comments commented something like, "We ate all the figs and pissed off." I think that's really funny because that's kind of the vibe this post gives. It's like, oh yeah, there could have been work, but so unfortunately we were early, so we just ate everything we could and pieced the fuck out. Now, I have to say, it's incredibly generous for whoever opens their home to these two people because they definitely don't deserve it. So here there's another post. They're in France now. Starting our bike trip in Europe was a good idea because of our inexperience. We quickly found out what worked and didn't, so for Africa we've prepared the bike differently, got rid of some things, bought a water filter, and now we can make our own electricity. The places we have been so far on the bike are also some of the wealthiest in the world. Soon it will be different. This is from the south of France. It's kind of funny to me that a pair of people who are taking a bike tour or a bike trip, that quote-unquote extreme in the sense of you're going through different terrains, different weathers, you're not experienced or you haven't really prepared yourself fully. I don't know. It would give me massive anxiety to not really know fully what I was getting myself into to the full extent in which you can, because obviously, you know, you can't control everything. But I just have so many questions about how you just randomly decide to do something like this, not knowing where you're gonna sleep, not knowing where you're gonna eat, and not even really knowing how bikes work and all that other shit. So I'm like, what do you know? Like, what led you down this road? Like, who came up with this plan? So here there's another post and it says, we made it as far as Barcelona by bike, only then we took a boat to Mallorca. Risky move. We didn't know anyone here or anything about the island and very little money left. We saw on Helbex and Workaway that there were quite a few ads for volunteering. The first 2 weeks nothing worked out, so we explored the island, lived under a rock, and made friends with the goats. So even when they seem to be in somewhat of a dire situation, even then working seems impossible. And listen, this time I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Outside your country where I don't think they speak Spanish fluently, so where you don't speak the native language fluently, it would be harder to get a job. That being said, there's still Mom and GoFundMe's money there for you, so thank God for that. So here I just wanted to show you the rock they were living under. This is the area where we spent most of our waiting time in. The internet worked best under this rock, believe it or not. So I think what's funny is that so far, I think they have tried to appear as frugal as possible, which is fine, but I think they do it to seem kind of, I don't want to say victims, but like they're just out there roughing it and it's so hard, and it's like, well, no shit, you didn't plan anything, you don't know where you're gonna eat, you don't really know where you're gonna stay, you don't know the language in a lot of these places, like of course it's gonna be a mess, and that's your own fault. So the living under the rock thing, I'm kind of like, clearly you didn't budget properly or else you wouldn't be short on money if you were this prepared to take this big trip. All of it's a mess. And the interesting thing though is that in some way, they always find a way to weasel themselves into things without paying for them. It's truly remarkable. Either they're meeting naive people or they have some kind of charm they turn on, because I cannot believe it. So this is an example of that. Here it says, before we volunteered, we also spent quite a bit of time in the laundromat at the harbor. There was Wi-Fi there and we could charge all of our things. During this time, we met some people who ended up taking us for a sail to get a different view of the island and also showed us the ropes. Our first time on a sailboat. Get out there, talk to strangers, ask questions, and you may just be surprised what doors open. And it's kind of funny because under that post, a lot of people were just commenting, do you know how many doors jobs could open? Anyway, that's just an example of what I'm trying to say of like their ability to mooch. Here, they're in Morocco, and it says, after a 25-hour ferry trip from Barcelona, we stepped on African soil for the first time. We didn't know much about Morocco. Our first 300 plus kilometers were a nice surprise, beautiful scenery, and we had some wonderful human interactions. We got stopped by the police many times. We didn't understand why they are so careful here. They organized places for us to sleep and even gave us food. They drove slowly behind us for hours to make sure we were safe. But why? The people so far were friendly more than in other countries we have visited. More on this in our next post from Fez. One night we spent in a small village and talked with hours with the English teacher there. He said that travelers from more developed countries are looked at as expensive, so they go beyond to make sure we're having a good time. So then they go on to talk about what they ate and stuff like that. Not very interesting. Anyway, so again, here we see that they were unprepared, didn't really know much about Morocco. And I'm like, how are you not at all versed on the countries you're gonna go through? Especially because the guy is heavily tattooed. As a heavily tattooed person, I think it's extremely irresponsible to not even look into that and how that's gonna be received, because there are some places where heavily tattooed people don't just get dirty looks and things like that. So I'm just kind of shocked, especially when the money, again, isn't yours. It's like, wouldn't you go the extra step to make sure that you're really using your money properly and really doing your due diligence? Like, I guess the laziness is beyond not working. It's like not doing any type of research. Going on the internet is asking too much, apparently. What I also became curious about, because this post is from March 20th, is what were they gonna do with what's going on in the world right now? The lockdown, essentially, of many countries. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do then with your little mental health bike ride? They end up in Mauritania, and it says, we have hitched a ride to the nearest town to stock up on food. It's looking like we will not be able to leave Mauritania for a while because of borders being closed. The place where we have ended up is amazing though, and the people around us are great. We go hiking in the mountains, we've slept under a rock with thousands of years old paintings, and get to swim and drink the cleanest of water straight out of the rocks. There is no internet here, and we aren't sure when we will have it next because getting past the checkpoints was a mission today. Much love to you all, and see you soon. I have to say, I feel slightly bad for them for being stuck in this situation that they are now, because that would stress me the fuck out, to not be home, to not have all my stuff, and to be essentially just kind of like a nomad at the moment, because they are kind of living like nomads. That would stress me the fuck out. So yikes. But don't worry, they'll find a place to stay. So this post, I have to say, of all of them, oh, there's actually one that tops it, never mind. Crossed the border 6 weeks ago from Morocco into this country that not many know much about. We are part of a West/Central Africa cycling WhatsApp group, and most go along the coast to Senegal the fastest way. I wanted to go inland with the long train and then cycle a route that I haven't heard anyone ride. Our 1-month visa has expired, but that doesn't matter now. We haven't felt any danger here. The people are wonderful. It may be different in the big cities. We ended up in the small village just before the restrictions. We've learned here that traditionally fat women are attractive and that they practice something called force feeding. Some even go to the extent of giving their daughters hormones and animal medication to enhance their appetite and make them bigger. Also, the campsite we stay at is owned by a brother of the chief. Still a bit tribal, although we can't recognize how the difference in power works here yet. Some say slavery is still happening in this country, and there is a difference between blacks and the less colored. I'll get more information on that. And then they talk about buying or not buying a fucking knife, which nobody cares. I try not to nitpick. I really do. And I know that English isn't the first language, so I will give some benefits here of the doubt. But this whole thing of saying, oh yeah, some people say slavery is a thing, some say it's not. Jury's still out on that one. It's like, could you not Google this information? Like, I'm pretty sure this isn't top secret information. I'm pretty sure if you Google, you could also understand what the power dynamic is, what the power hierarchy is. Surreal to me that sometimes they post shit clearly not knowing anything, and they're just, I'll get more info on that. I don't think any information was ever added on it, but it just seemed so, I don't necessarily want to say tone deaf as much as just completely ignorant, to treat slavery as like a detail of like, I don't know about that. We'll figure it out. I have no hope for these people. As I said, they always find a place to stay. So here is the dude, and it says, and the caption just says, some are happier to be stuck here than others. Since there's a pool, I'm assuming they're not in, you know, a very poor place, or they're with someone who has some kind of money. Sorry, in the screenshot, I just see the comment here, and it's like, Moocher's log, day 939. Elena is not with me at the moment. Today we were mooching off of some people, and in exchange for food and shelter, I let them look at the picture of me upside down in the washing machine. Elena and I had both previously agreed that letting one look at a photo is a fair trade for free food and shelter. However, I noticed they also had a pool. Since I want to mooch a swim out of them. And then it cut off, but like, the comments, dude. Seriously though, the comments under their pictures are gold, so if you want to be entertained for a while, go check, because no one's forgotten the true beginning of their story. So here, this is by far one of the posts that leaves me most confused and overall just... I don't really know what the term is. That kid screaming outside is the term, internal screaming. So, okay, girl, go off. 60 days since I started the 1 year of silence. I did about 170 kilometers on a push scooter in Italy in the winter, walked 170 kilometers without sleeping once, never walked a marathon before, did 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 squats/lunges, 250 push-ups, and ab workout every single day for 60 days when we stayed in Bali, climbed in the Himalayas alone when there was no path, did 7,500 kilometers on a bicycle from Europe to Africa. Mentally and physically, I've gone to interesting places, but nothing terrified me more than not talking for a year. I'll be writing about what's going on inside me in more detail soon on our website. As far as I've seen, there was no website in their bio, so I don't know if that's something they're working on. I'm sorry. Imagine you decide to go on a biking trip where you don't know the language in many countries, you don't know the terrain, you barely know that a country fucking exists, you don't know anything about like the system of power, and that is the precise time where you decide, I am going to take a vow of silence for a year. The time that might be most critical to speak and communicate for your own survival. That is when you're like, you know what? I feel bad for the girlfriend, to be honest, because like imagine traveling with someone and they don't talk to you. You're alone with them and they don't talk to you. Like I can understand why she would want to talk to every person she fucking meets because first of all, mooch, but second of all, I mean, how boring could that be? Unless she talks to him and he like nods or something. I don't understand. And then someone pointed out that him typing is still kind of like a way of talking because you're still putting your thoughts out there. I don't know much about vows of silence, but I thought that one of the big points was just not putting your thoughts out there at all. So writing things out, I don't know if that really counts as a vow of silence. You guys can let me know if you know more about that. That's what they've been up to so far. So I've not seen anything about mental health. He could have written about mental health there, raised awareness in one post, though they got money to like travel everywhere. So like, I don't know if one post would even make a difference, but the mental health thing seemed like a bullshit excuse the whole time, obviously, but I'm just stunned. I'm absolutely stunned at the lack of awareness and just preparation, the laziness, the entitlement, so many words to describe these people, but it's truly surprising to me. It truly just, I'm amazed by these people in the worst possible way you can take that. Anyways, you can let me know what you think in the comments down below. I would love to know your thoughts. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.